Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we've got another new track bike, we've got a prototype skewer, we've got some new shoes, we've got your bikes in the bike vault, we've got your upgrades.
And our main talking point, which is, what bike would you buy if money was no object?
Oh, don't know. This week, our main talking point is what cycling object would you buy if money was no object? Now, it's not a fantasy style thing, it actually has to be a product or bike that does actually already exist. And the idea, well, came to us because right now, today, there's an auction taking place at the Bornlof auction house. I probably got all of that wrong, but it's in Italy, so imagine I said that in Italian. And well, the actual headline items when it comes to cycling is the 1952 Maillot Jaune of Fausto Coppi, and there's also a few other bits too, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff from Claudio Chiappucci, Marco Pantani, Felice Giamondi, and, well, loads more, to be honest. I
mean, none of these things are actually my bucket list item, and I don't have the disposable income really to just waste on these. Well, not waste, but invest rather on it. But I've not seen anything. Did you see anything in there?
I did, yeah.
Go on.
Well, I'm not personally that bothered about football, but I know you are.
Yeah.
They had some pretty rare football shirts for sale, including the European Cup winner's shirt of Liverpool player Gary Gillespie.
Oh, Gazza. Well, not the actual Gazza, but Gary Gillespie.
I thought you'd like that.
Oh yeah, might match my shorts. But oh no, we don't want to think about that. But yeah, looking through it, as great as these things were, there is one thing which I would love. And this right, it's probably going to send a little bit of a shiver down your spine, but it's actually a bike which both of us have been privy to have a good look at.
Yeah.
And there's probably a few hundred people in the world who've managed to look at this bike, and it's the Hour Record bike of Eddie Merckx, 1972. That bike, it looks at first glance like, oh, look at it, it's just a bog standard track bike. But once you start looking at all the fine details of it, you see, to the nth degree of what Merckx and his mechanic went to actually get that bike as tricked out as possible. And it's like really understated. And I think what's great about that is that the Hour Record is just about that rider and that bike for 1 hour, obviously, but there's nothing else involved. There's no other riders to look at, and it's just man and machine. I think there's something, so special about that. I mean, you obviously do think that too, because you're in a bit of you got yourself into a terrible situation for the next few months, I'm going to say, Ollie, to be perfectly honest.
It's the worst idea I've ever had, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, when you brought it up, I did think, why would you try and do that? But it's great. I'm going to support you, just like I did with Sakalobra and everything else you've always said. I'm going to be your right-hand man, so to speak. But yeah, I think that really, for me, that bike of Merckx is really special. Yeah. But what about you? Come on, there must be something you've got your eye on.
That's a Rally Activator 2.
Right, okay, this was an entry-level, I think it was a full suspension mountain bike.
It was, but I think back when I was about 11 years old, that was the bike.
Okay.
But no, actually, the more I think about it, no, I don't think I do want one. It'd probably be a bit pants now.
Here's one then. When you were a kid, about 11, we were both 11 at one point, believe it or not, did you ever go through... We've got these shopping catalogues in the UK, Argos. Did you ever go through that and tick everything you wanted?
Argos catalogue,
yeah. And the index one as well? Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
It's like you read my mind.
Yeah, it's nice to think we're on the same page here of thinking about what we dreamt of as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about now, though? Now you're grown up a little bit.
I tell you what, actually, I'd love to own one of the classic shorter time trial bikes, like Alf Engers used to ride. Back in the sort of late 60s, early 70s.
Shorter, they're based in North London, aren't they?
Yeah, so for those that are unfamiliar, these were, well, you'd call them retro now, custom steel frames that were designed for time trialing. So drop bar bikes, TT bars weren't around back then, but they had geometry so that the drops were actually higher than what you'd have on a modern road bike. So they're more like in the hoods position, so you get a nice aero shape.
And aero, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, and also the geometry of the bikes, they have a long wheelbase and a positive rake, so that you've got really stable handling. They're really efficient at being ridden in a straight line in a time trial. But we found one actually on the Classic Lightweight site here, which is a replica of Alfenga's bike. It looks incredible.
Yeah, when you sent that over to me, actually, I was like, oh yeah, I think you've picked a beauty there, actually.
Yeah.
Because again, you look at it and you'd think, to the untrained eye, oh, it's just an old bike. But you look up close, there's a few more key details, isn't there?
Yeah, amazing. And the riders back then, they understood aerodynamics were important in time trialing. So they would get these incredible body positions on the bike where they just sort of went to little balls. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Alfenga's was the first rider to go under 50 minutes for 25 miles, which is an incredible feat.
Wow. He now works, by the way, in a bagel shop in London, I've been told.
He's an incredible bloke. But one of the cool things is that while he understood aerodynamics on that level of making yourself small, they didn't understand aerodynamics on other levels. So check out all the little drillium and details they've done. They've drilled loads of holes all over the bike, even on the dropouts, the seat post. It's like Swiss cheese. It looks so beautiful and so cool, but probably not very aerodynamic.
No, and probably not that good really for the structure of the components either. I mean, in a time trial, do not try this at home, anybody. Ollie, you don't try it either for your hour record. Is that, in a time trial, you're not putting as much stress through the bike because you're not out of the saddle kicking out of corners, you know, hundreds of times in an hour like you would, on a cross race or, a crit or something. Yeah. But it's funny as well, we're talking about aerodynamics. Back then, to try and get a little bit more aero, they would just put essentially a morph suit on, but without the face covering, and just wear like this hood on top of an all-in-one Lycra outfit. I
think with my 700-watt Sprint, I don't need to be worried about the structural integrity of the bike right now, though. So I'd happily own one of those.
Yeah, we'll get the drill out. I reckon we should ask some of the other presenters as well what they'd be keen for.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
Well, let's hear from them now.
Well, guys, that is a great question. You've actually caught me mid-ride here, as you can see. I think, because I get to ride dream bikes on a daily basis here at GCN, I'm going to have to say something that is retro. I would love a Colnago C40 from the kind of Map A era. And I'd also really, really love a proper mint vintage mountain bike from the early 90s. If I could get hold of one of John Tomac's, I would be a very, very happy man.
What would I buy if money was no object? Well, instead of buying a bike, I'd probably buy a few trips, a few experiences, that sort of thing. Because ultimately, if you spend long enough riding a bike, it just starts to feel like normal. Sure, it feels great when you first ride it. It feels new, it feels fast. And if you're talking about absolute values, it will be faster and it will be better. But after 6 months, it feels normal. So upgrading your bike, whilst nice, isn't what I choose to do. So I'd either choose to spend loads of money on loads of trips, if I was allowed to do that, go and ride in some of my favourite locations all over the world, or a different location, or a sunny location each and every time. And for those really grim days in the UK, I'd buy some sort of like a chalet type thing overlooking the sea on the edge of the cliffs and have like the ultimate indoor trainer setup. Because I normally like riding when it's wet, but as I get older, I actually prefer to be indoors. It's less stress. Can have a little area for my kids to mess around, have like the ultimate man den on the edge of the cliffs. That would be where my money would go.
Wow, there's some ideas there, isn't it? But I guess we want to know what the viewers would buy if money was no object.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below what bike or bit of kit that you'd love to own.
Hot tech now, and the 2020 Tokyo Olympics arms race continues, doesn't it? Because hot off the press is this new bike from Pinarello, and it's called the Mat.
Yeah, looks nice, that doesn't it?
It does look an absolute beauty.
Apparently it's a gift to the Italian team.
Oh!
But what's interesting for me is that the Pinarello Bolide HR, our record, was already regarded as pretty much the fastest track bike out there by those in the know. For Filippo Ganna smashed the individual pursuit record on that bike.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how
Bradley
much...
Wiggins also broke the hour record on that one, Ollie.
Yeah, he did, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how much faster this bike is.
Yeah.
But Pinarello have said that it's designed to be more focused towards sort of bunch racing events on the track and sprint events.
Yeah, and they've also made a pair of handlebars too, haven't they? Which are pretty cool. They take an interesting look. Available in a 38cm width as well, so well, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Now they're not cheap.
Yeah.
They are £7,000 for the frame and forks, and the handlebars £750. But, well, those Italian riders, they've got them as a gift. So, well, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
It's all right for some, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we thought this would be a great opportunity to have a poll in the app.
Okay.
We'll post a link. App Squad will sort it out.
Okay, good.
App Squad will post a link to the app. So we're going to have a poll. Which do you think is the most aero?
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic Ollie, aero.
Which do you think is the most aero? The new GB Hope Lotus, Team GB Hope Lotus bike, or the new Pinarello Matte? You can vote in the poll.
Aero. Classic. Sticking with track then, just quickly, I spotted on the Instagram profile of Gregory Bourges, the French track sprinter, this picture. It's quite an old one, I think, but he's basically got this contraption on his back and he's wired up to his legs. I don't know what on earth it's trying to measure, but I have asked him on Instagram. He's not got back to me though with an answer. So if anyone else knows, just let us know in the comments section down below.
Yeah, that's weird. He normally gets back to me straight away.
Oh, all right.
More new hot tech, right? Check out this hot shoe tech. These are the Fizik R2 Aero Weaves. Look at those.
Well, let's have a look then.
According to Fizik, they're the lightest and stiffest shoe the Italian brand's ever made, and they've got this incredible upper, which is like a mesh construction. So you've got like a nylon woven with a thermopolymer, and it just gives this, well, slightly see-through, very vented shoe that is, it's just rather incredible, isn't it?
Not one for the winter, I don't think that one, Ollie.
No, but definitely one for the summer.
Yeah. In the winter, if you wore that with white socks, you'd get the coolest pattern come through them, wouldn't you?
But yeah, I think
they are nice, aren't they?
Absolutely superb. Best thing being that we've got an unboxing of them coming out on the channel, I think tomorrow. So there's a chance to win.
Next up then, we had a video sent in from a Belgian chap called Jan Dex, who loves an invention or two when it comes to cycling. Now, the video clip of it in action, it's a through axle, and it looks like the quickest through axle I've ever seen. Don't really know how it works, so I did, again, reach out to Jan and ask for more info, but, well, he didn't get back to me.
That's funny, because he got back to me when I messaged him.
Why does this always happen?
I don't know, but apparently it's some details he's keeping confidential at the moment, although he does say it's patented. It's a spring-loaded system, and once it's loaded, the spring is locked in place by a lever. And
sounds loaded.
Yeah, a bit like a rifle or something. Yeah. And then you move the lever and the spring slams out. But apparently Jumbo-Visma are really interested in it to speed up wheel changes on disc brake bikes.
That is cool.
That is cool, isn't it?
Right, and finally then in hot tech, the Astana squad, they've parted company with Canadian bike brand Argon 18 for 2020, and they've linked up with the brand Villiers, which explains why when I was there, I did actually see a frame hanging up in the background and it was painted up in the Astana colours. And I actually said to the guys, I went, that looks like the Astana colours. And the bloke just sort of like shooed me away and sort of said, right, on with the tour. But anyway, yeah, nice. Right, more tech next week. Right, it's now time for snacks of the week. And I've been really looking forward to this because I saw those super nice bars and whatever it was you had. And I thought, oh, I could do with some of that. So what have we got this week?
We didn't actually get sent anything this week, John.
What?
Yeah, there's no snacks this week.
Letdowns, all of you. I'm really upset about that.
Move on. Right, it's now time for Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, where you submit evidence of the upgrades that you've made to your bikes or equipment for the chance to win the ultimate prize, the GCN cap or casquette, if you're French speaking.
Right, there we go. First up then, we need to announce last week. I still can't believe there's no snacks of the week. Anyway, right, we need to announce last week's winner, and I wasn't here, so I'm just gonna have to refresh my memory. It was between Simon from Poland and Steve from New York. Now, I dread to think the accents you did last week on these, and I'm not gonna ask you to do them. Anyway, Simon and the Kinesis won.
Yeah?
Yeah, 63% of the vote, so get in touch with
Pretty
us.
close, that.
That is close.
Well, it's closer than it's been in recent weeks.
Yeah, there have been some absolute landslides, haven't there? So get in touch with Simon on Facebook to arrange delivery of your little casquette or cap, depending on which way you swing. Right, first up this week then is Alexander from Vienna. Oh, have you been to Vienna?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Leicester Sommer.
Yeah, nice. Okay, right, anyway, so Alexander says, after riding an old steel bike for the last 2 years, doing approximately 14,000 kilometres on it, Alexander decided it was time for a new one. The old one had wobbly wheels and friction shifting. So he liked the look of an old steel frame, and the thin tubes is still the most aesthetically pleasing. So he bought himself a used old Colnago with a Shimano 600 tricolor group set. That is a fine vintage, I must say, Alexander. The frame was in excellent condition, and he decided to strip it and kit it out then with Campagnolo Super Record. Blimey. However, the bottom bracket was a Fag Nadax made of aluminium. That's a very uncommon bottom bracket. It was quite popular around about the late 80s. Either way, it didn't come out even after spraying it for a week with WD-40 and clamping it in a vise. Blimey. Well, this is a sad story so far. Received suggestions to heat the frame to get it out. God, you're going to ruin your paint doing that.
Yeah.
Which Alexander said, well, he decided against doing that because it would probably damage the original paint. Great minds think alike. So he spent a whole weekend drilling out the bottom bracket. After the bottom bracket was out, apparently it was a pleasure to rebuild. All right, so there's the old thing. Oh, look at that. It's nice, that, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I don't like the way it's... Well,
I love the New Mexico, like Cerrone's bike, isn't it?
Yeah, 82.
It's classic.
Look at that bottom bracket. Look at the state of... Alexander, let us know. What drill did you use to get that out? Because...
pillar drill.
Yeah, must have used a bench pillar drill for sure, yeah. What size bit? Look at the swarf. Oh, it's beautiful stuff, that.
That
Blimey.
is... Ooh, that's a revelation.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the... I'm not sure about the drapes or the curtains, whatever that is in the background.
Yeah, but modern, retro result there. What do you think of that, John?
Oh, I think it's beautiful.
I do as well.
It looks like a 3T Mutant stem.
I like his... Yeah, the stems.
Yeah, it's like,
strange, yeah.
It's a 3T Mutant.
But I do love the 404s. I love the Campy. I love the saddle. Looks great, that Fizik saddle.
Do you know what? I just wish the seat post and stem was silver. But either way, that's a brilliant, by upgrade.
You know, you don't often see that deep sections like that on a full like retro build. Like
No,
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
I like
good,
that.
doesn't it? Yeah.
It's not going to be plain sailing though.
Oh no, it never is it?
Alexander is up against Fernando.
Where is he from?
He's from Montreal in Canada.
Oh right. Where is Fernando's? It's like a little island.
Fernando's, yeah. Well, anyway,
Island,
Fernando is he's living in Montreal, and it gets very cold and wintry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
for basically the whole year, I would have imagined I've never been.
There's polar bears.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous, right? But thank goodness for Zwift. So he's decided to have a go at building a full-on, like, dedicated indoor Zwift setup.
Right.
And he's decided to make a dedicated road bike trainer, like homemade, with a rocker plate.
Blimey.
I know, amazing, right? So he found this frame, this old knackered BH frame.
Yeah.
And he's decided to build it up from there. $40 he paid for that. Bargain. Absolute bargain.
Where'd you get it from? Craigslist?
Single speed crankset.
Everyone's favourite thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
In North America, they absolutely love Craigslist.
Yeah, 8-speed Shimano Claris. We have car boot sales in this country. Yeah. It doesn't sound right, does it? Car trunk sale.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
When I was a kid growing up, you see a sign outside there, it's car boot sale. Like, why advertising that? How many people are going to go and buy a car boot? Because obviously when I was like 8 years old, I wasn't quite aware of the logic behind it. Anyway.
He's got a 1225 cassette on there. Yeah. He's built it up. Look at this. I mean, he's like painted the frame, sanded it down, done all that.
Oh, that's cheesy. That's cheesy. Look what he's done.
Look at that rocker plate though. Look at it. He's got his Tax Neo.
That's a homemade fork stand as well.
Look at that drive. He's
clean, isn't it?
He's got his fans there.
Yeah, that's electrical fans, not like us. But he has got his fans there as well, because we're on that screen, that was what I was referring to being cheesy.
That's digital manipulation.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that.
He's not actually he's trying to score points by
putting us on there,
but he's not genuinely watching us. He was watching something else.
Yeah.
And he's photoshopped that image on. Pulling the wool over our eyes, Fernando.
We know photography.
Yes. But nonetheless, that's a very good indoor setup, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I like that homemade fork. Like he's made it out of looks like MDF. Do you think that's MDF? Medium density fibre. It looks like it.
It could be.
I know. I don't know. I've got a good mind that certainly in the United States, I believe that MDF is not legal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, it's a good job he's in Canada.
Yeah. So it could well be MDF.
I think that setup will keep you safe from polar bears and wolves and whatever hazards also lurk in the Montreal wilderness.
I'd like to know more about that rocker plate too. You can see it's got like some sort of what looks like a CB radio antenna in the middle of it that's been trimmed out. I don't know. I mean, Fernando, you are a very naughty boy.
Impressive pain cave, but it's not down to us, is it, who wins?
Yeah, you can vote on screen. You can also vote in the app.
Yeah, New Mexico versus
Montreal.
But it's not really New Mexico.
Vienna versus Montreal. But, well,
you know what I mean.
Well, I hope they do. Right, now time for the bike vault, and you know the drill by now. You use the app, you upload pictures of your bike, and well, if it gets a super nice, it goes into the bike vault, and this old beauty, it gets rung. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, bikes are either super nice or nice, but it's changed, John. Because we now have the app, people vote on the bikes also using the app at home.
Oh no.
And we've been told by big bosses here at GCN that if our assessment is not in line with the public vote from you guys in the app, 3 strikes and we're out.
Out of where?
We lose our jobs.
Right, okay. Well, this is news to me.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
I think we can do it. Right. Okay, first up we've got Paul. And Paul has submitted his beautiful custom Orbea Orca OMR, which has been painted by Ali at Fact Creations.
Ah, mate of ours, yeah.
Yes, and it's overlooking Elterwater, Cumbria, in, well, the Langdales, a favourite place of mine. Beautiful. Look at the depth of field.
No water.
Well, no, there isn't, but you can see the ferns have died back.
Yeah, you can.
They'll grow back in the summer, but and the sheep have neatly mowed that bit of grass.
Great.
I mean, it's a beautiful quark power meter on there, zips, ETAP. I love that fade in the Orbea.
Valves don't match. Valves don't match.
The valves don't match, right?
The valves don't match.
They don't. He's not got that right, but he is Biggie Smalls. He has. He's done everything else right. I think that's a super nice.
This has been given too much thought, though, I think. Look, who takes on a bike ride with them a bike stand?
John, our jobs are on the line. It's a super nice.
Right, so it gets a super nice from us.
Let's see what the public said, John. Thank God for that, man.
I don't know if I like this new bike vault.
Yeah. Oh. Up next.
Right. Up next is I think this is Victor V1C70R down the Santa Ana River Trail. Been there. I have.
Is V1C70? Maybe he's a droid, like C3PO or something.
Yeah, or R2D2 or something like that. Anyway, that's a light speed that's got like a white band around it. Amazing snow-capped mountain view en route back to the local brewery. Wow, blimey!
Tell you what, gold chain.
Yeah,
gold chain. Boom.
Got some oval wheels. There's a lot of steerer out there, isn't there?
There's a lot of steerer going on.
Saddles,
that
bit of a
that little computer mount thing looks a little bit scruffy as well, with the little
that's like a
hangy downy bit.
Yeah, it's like a I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, not a fan of that. But he's Biggie Smalls.
Look at the size of those big cigarette butt like collector things. No matter hot.
Yeah,
presumably it says no hot ashes. I don't know.
This is hard. This job. I think it's a super nice.
Yeah, I think it must be too.
Ring the bell, ring the bell. Let's see what... Right, next.
Right, go on. Right, who we got now then?
Cater or Keter.
Don't know. Could be Peter.
Could
Spelled
be.
Wrong.
Couldn't align the cranks, they say, because they were using them to hold the bike up.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Weak excuse as well.
Yeah, terrible.
Where's that? They haven't put the location.
They haven't put the location, but it looks amazing. I would love to visit there.
Yeah,
that looks
I'd like
great.
to go crabbing in those rock pools.
That's a fantastic photo as well.
That's one of those open up frames, isn't it? It fits, 2 sizes of wheels and all that.
Yeah, it's like 650 wheels, looks like there.
Yeah.
SRAM Eagle as well.
Oh, modified.
Yes. Zip 303s. Beautiful.
Sidewalls.
I don't know where it is.
No.
I don't know much more about it, but I like it. I think that's super nice. I think it's a great photo. I love the colour palette of that photo.
Yeah.
On an artistic level.
Yeah. Could be photoshopped, I suppose.
It could be, but I think it's super nice.
Yeah, I think it is too. So we'll give it a ring. We'll have to see what the viewers voted.
Close that.
Is it 3 strikes? Is that 3 strikes in one episode? Or
Yeah, 3 strikes
right.
in episodes.
Okay, right.
We're doing all right. We're getting through it, man.
Yeah. Okay,
We're
right.
getting through it.
We've got now Scott Leeson, a Merida Reacto. It's a sunrise pic. Again, could be photoshopped. I'm always a bit suspicious sometimes. Like, you know, it looks a bit. The rear wheel just looks. I know the tread pattern on that. Either way, it's a beauty, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, that filter, the filter he's got on here is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a bit like a sort of Marks and Spencer's advert.
I don't even know what that means.
I could just imagine
A bit soft.
No, like Groove Armada playing on in the background as he took that photo down by the river.
Yeah.
Why has he got a bottle cage on the back of his bike?
Yeah, agree.
And not on the down tube.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Possibly more aerodynamic. Something you should know.
I believe. Well,
On that frame, probably not though.
no, I don't think it would be. I think that's.
Yeah. Is it nice?
I mean, it is nice, isn't it? I just the front wheel's
Magically
not
propped
quite-
up as well, isn't it? That's why I'm
Yeah.
a bit
how has
dubious
he
about
propped
this.
that up?
I just think this one's a bit.
How has that been propped up?
Don't know. Anyway, for me, mate, that's a nice.
Yeah, I think that's a nice.
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Nice. Let's see what the viewers said.
That's one strike, John. It's one strike. We're gonna have to play it. We can't get it wrong. We
Right.
can't get it wrong.
Okay then. So.
Right, next up, Ludwig. Ludwig has submitted the Stella Artois Brewery. Oh no, he's not. There's a bike there as well.
Oh yeah.
What do you make of that?
Wow. That's an old relic, that isn't it? Apparently that was his dad's old bike, more than 30 years old, and he's been using it in the winter. I mean, that's a bit unkind, isn't it? It looks like a decent winter bike.
Yeah. I mean, he's not cleaned it. He's not put
No.
it in Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
He's taken the photo at a jaunty angle.
Yeah, it's quite cluttered. I mean,
You could have removed your saddlebag.
he's tried to find the way to our hearts, or more really Lloydie's heart, by
Yeah.
doing it in front of the Stella Artois building.
Yeah. I mean, John, that's a nice. It's not
yeah,
super nice.
yeah, it's not doing it for me.
It's a nice
really.
bike.
Yeah, let's see. Well, we couldn't really lose there, could we? Anyway,
you're right.
yeah. Right,
We
more
made
bike,
it.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah, more bike vault next week, and hopefully this rule will be banished. There we are, another tech show in the bag. Always cracking fun.
Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out GCN Shop. Christmas is coming, so if you want to get some Christmas gifts and stuff, these are pretty cool. Yeah. And for another video, there's one down here.
And for another one, there's one just down here as well.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.